BonesBits, which is the name of my business, has an interesting origin, I guess. I'm a pathologist in my day job and really enjoyed in my training human anatomy, specifically bones, and the workings of the human body. And so I really wanted to incorporate that part of my life, but also the artistic side. So I stayed with bones as one of the parts to the name. And I guess bits is just, the way I kind of saw it was handmade pieces or bits made by bones, me. They are structure in and of themselves. You can use to display whatever you choose, the plant, a bowl, etc. That, to me, is an interesting connection, that bones being a nice structure to your body, we're talking about then macrame as having structure to it. The other piece is that bones, when you think about them, are very linear and have a purpose and a place. Macrame to me also is very linear and kind of a connection in that way with the cord and the patterns that are created in that sense. And then I will name some of my patterns that I create after bones of the human body. So depending on the pattern and what I create, I kind of imagine which bone in the body does this pattern seem to represent or look most like. And there are a few examples that I can give. There is a bone called the sacrum. That is a bone composed of multiple bones actually fused together, but at the bottom of your spine. And it's this very cool, almost braided, kind of lace-like pattern. And one of my pieces is reminiscent of that bone in terms of the pattern, and I call it the sacrum. For whatever reason, when learning about bones, the incus, which is one of the little bones in your ear, was my favorite bone. I think it might have been the name or the fact that it's a very tiny bone and has such a big purpose. I named my go-to pattern, the one that is just classic macrame to me, after that bone as my favorite bone in the body. Yeah, there's one named the coccyx, which is your tailbone. And it comes to a nice triangular point, and this pattern happens to have a triangle in it and is reminiscent of that bone. So it's kind of fun, but does bring all of the aspects of my life together into my art. My earliest memory of doing macrame was in second grade, interestingly. We had these options of doing crafts after school. And I remember going towards macrame as one of those options. And we created a small, I think it was a keychain or something to that effect. And that is my earliest memory of starting macrame. Maybe about 10, 15 years ago now, I rediscovered macrame, kind of out of necessity or need or want, to create something for my house. And that's when I kind of rediscovered that this is something that speaks to me, that is amazing, wonderful, and continued to do it over the years. When I rediscovered it, I did actually see in the neighborhood, just behind the house, a couple plant hangers of macrame hanging on someone's porch. And that is one thing that inspired me to think, hey, I can do this too, for myself and for our space. And for me, there's definitely the artistic aspect, the work aspect. For me, work is very rewarding, very, I guess, time-consuming, but also can be quite stressful. So then I needed to look for outlets for myself, for stress relief, but also to be able to show my personality as well. And art is one of those outlets for me in terms of stress relief. Macrame has become one of those very meditative, ritualistic activities for me, but also that nice outlet for stress relief, right? And that's kind of what makes a whole person, which is wonderful that I've found that.